Hello YouTube friends, Gail's here to play another visual novel game. I said last video I said I wanted to play either something Spooktober or something Otome. This was from the Otome Jam. I believe it was last June, July, sometime around there. Yeah, but it also looks like it could be good for Halloween, you know, it's called Maelstrom Masquerade, so it looks like it's gonna be a masquerade ball during a storm. This one's kind of fun. Alright, I did read a little bit about it on the main page, but other than that, I'm just gonna jump right in. Looking forward to it. Oh, cool. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I did turn down the sound, okay, but it's sometimes they put this beep 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 thing on the dial. I'm just gonna mute it because I don't like those, honestly. They kind of annoy me. Even if I can barely hear it, it's still gonna annoy me. So hopefully I can't hear it at all now. And that's just a personal preference thing. A Honkai Star Rail reference for sure. That's what's his name? Oh gosh, I can think of it. I haven't played that game in a while. But yeah, awesome. Nice. Hey. No smiley face for me? Just Joshin'. Well, will I see you at the Masquerade tonight? Parties aren't really my thing. Nah, you'll be there. Are we talking to ourselves? Who are we? What? Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see. So, the person we're talking to is not us. Okay. This is us, and the text is somebody else. Okay. Yeah, party, I do like to dress up sometimes. I'm not a big party person, but I am a big dress up person. So especially if it's like a costume party, I love costume parties, or Halloween party. Yeah, those I like. So, you'll be there? Hells yeah, your boy never misses a party. Okay, I guess I'll show. But how will I know it's you I'm talking to and not some other silver-tongued temptress? I'll likely be a maiden in white. I'll be a lucky charm in green. I'll likely be a va-va-voom in red. I did just recently get a pretty red and black dress. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it va-va-voom, but I think it's pretty. We'll see. We'll do that. Sexy. I'll be on the lookout. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Did he just call me sexy? I have to respond, but what do I... OMG, Misuki. How are you not even dressed yet? I've been looking forward to this masquerade for months, and you're going to make us late. Hurry up, hurry up. Nice looking background, nice looking sprite. Very cool, very cool. Okay, I'm hurrying. Okay, I was just chatting. Wait a sec. Is that... Oh, sorry, I haven't been really doing voices. Wait a sec. Is that Shihab? Sorry if I make her sound kind of Alec, or that's just one of my voices. Forgive me, I wouldn't be in such a rush if I knew you were chatting with your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. Shihab is not my boyfriend. Whatever you say, you know he's gonna be there tonight, right? Yes. This is just like my generic... I don't know if these guys are in college or high school, but they're giving me kind of school vibes. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I didn't check and see what their ages were. Then what are you waiting for? Please tell me you at least decided what you're going to dress up as. Oh god, down to the wire. Which outfit should I wear? I mean, didn't we already decide that? We kinda... I mean, we told them we're gonna be in red anyway. Oh, that's cool. It does different things. Okay, so I kind of wish these designs look awesome, by the way. Let's get that out of the way. These look great. I love these. But I do kind of wish that we'd gotten to pick when we told them what we were gonna wear, because I mean now I feel obligated to go with the red one. Though if I had seen this first, I probably would have gone with the white. I like the white. It's nice looking. But the red is nice too, kind of sparkly. But let's see. You're a passionate individual. The red cashmere and leather mask fill you feeling sultry. Yeah, I mean, that does kind of sound like me. You enjoy flirting and diving headfirst into a relationship. Not necessarily. Boost your love 2+ once a day for an extra shot in an amorous connection. Cool. Friendship. Replenish your social battery once a day to let you through those tough combos. Cool. Yeah, I did see that there was some kind of social battery mechanic, which is interesting. So I'm assuming that means we're playing an introvert, I'm guessing. So kind of felt like it anyway. I was definitely getting an introvert kind of vibe. So based on the stats, I probably would pick this anyway, because you know I like my romance options. So, but design wise, I like the white one the best, honestly. All right, my red dress and mask. I'm gonna be dressed all in red, and all red. A little saucy, aren't we? Like a nice shade of mariner. That's not what I thought when I looked at it. Maybe she really likes pasta or something, I guess. Or that other one that starts with an A. Arabiata? Thanks. I'm glad you think I look edible. Okay, I can't watch you struggle with that anymore. Let me help you before you make us late. What are sisters for? Oh, this is our sister. Okay, Marisol. I wasn't sure. I guess it makes sense if they live together. I thought maybe it was her friend or whatever came over. What is it? I'm not sure I want to go. Mizuki, seriously, you promised. I know, but I don't know. I don't want to anymore. I mean, we did kind of... Didn't we tell that guy we were going to be there? I mean, we're already going to blow him off. She seemed pretty excited when when he called her sexy and all that. So, just saying. Then talk to me. What's on your mind? Yeah, kinda. So you could be mature at a party, but yeah, I do kind of get what they mean. When other people at the party are being all wild and crazy, and you're like, this is not my kind of vibe. But you can have a mature party for sure. It just depends on the company. I'm a little too old for parties. You're 30. Oh my gosh, she's 35. You're 35, not dead. Okay, so I guess I was wrong about my high school college theory. I guess they're just, what's the word? Late bloomer, maybe, I guess could be a term, or maybe they're just, I don't know. I guess that they're just super introverted. They're just not comfortable with certain types of situations, and that makes them come off as a little younger, little immature when it comes to romance anyway. I've outgrown such frivolity. So what? You're just gonna sit here playing saxophone all night? Would that be the mature thing to do? Maybe, I don't know. Come on, you do that every night. Why not get out for once? Talk to some people. Maybe you could form a jazz quartet or something. I don't want to talk to some people. You chat with Shihab every day on Masquerade. Masquerade. Just say what you would type. That's different. That is very different. I am very different in person than I am. I'm INFP, right? And every time, it never fails, whenever I meet somebody in person that I first met online, they'll always be like, why are you so quiet? Because I talk a lot to people online, but it's completely different when you meet them face to face in person. I'm more of a, I'm gonna let you do the talking and I'll do the listening type. I mean, and it depends, because it just takes me a while to open up and feel comfortable around people. Once I feel like I understand how to vibe with them a little bit, you know, what their sense of humor is, what things I should say, what not to say. I pretty much, to summarize, I just overthink it, I guess. and that's what makes me so quiet. I'm very reserved kind of quiet. There's a big filter there. And it may not come off like that because I'm talking into a microphone right now. But yeah, it's different. It is completely different. Literally, how? And yeah, obviously sister must be extrovert. Extroverts will not get it. They don't get it. You could explain it to them all you like. They're not going to understand because it's completely foreign concept to them. Other introverts will understand, but extroverts, nope. Hey, whether it's in person or online, you're still my cool big sister, Mitsuki. Nothing's gonna change that. Aw. That's the problem, though. Hey, don't you dare talk about my best friend like that. You'll be fine, Suki, and if you're overwhelmed, you can always take a break, okay? Okay. Great, now get that rear in gear. We've got a city to rock. Crescent City Sisters. I'm coming. It's gonna be total Maelstrom over there. Oh, there's some foreshadowing. Maelstrom. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. There's some words I mispronounce terribly. Whatever. Let's go. I'm a writer, okay? I'm not a talker. Just as you and Marisol arrive at the party, a light rain begins to fall. This is really cool. I like this. I like the little silhouettes to represent people so it feels more lively and full and whatnot. Looks like a little DJ up there. Really nice. I really like the composition and the perspective of it. Really cool. You and Marisol are ushered into a grand ballroom filled to the brim with people. Oh no, not people. Oh, get him away. My social battery. Oh my gosh, my social battery is already like past halfway point. Oh gosh. Real life flesh, blood, and bone people. Yuck. Let's go back and play some Otomes. Let's go back to our house and just play video games instead. Why talk to real people when you can talk to fictional ones? Isn't it amazing? It's overwhelming. That's what it is. Oh, this is so relatable. Stop that. Part of your promise means you have to at least try to have fun. Just go up to someone who looks interesting and talk to them. That sounds extremely draining. It does. It's a big manor. I'm sure you can find some room somewhere to recharge. Maybe. But even then, ooh, maybe we could find like a library or something. I wonder if they like to read like I do. I love to read. Especially whenever I'm socially anxious, like at a party or something, I bring a book or just look at my phone and look something up that I can read. Because reading helps calm me and relax me and helps me recharge at a party. So, so that'd be nice if they have like a library or something we could go to. That or just like stepping outside and getting fresh air. That helps too. I need to breathe. Breathe. Relax the social anxiety. And it looks like you may not even need to approach anyone. I think that guy's making a beeline right for you. Oh gosh. For me, why would a guy approach me? Good luck. Marisol walks away, blending into the crowd of masked revelers. Don't leave. Marisol doesn't respond to your call. So this person is like super introvert, like even more than me. Because I'll be fine by myself. I don't have to. I do usually clean like stick with this familiar people, like either Ken or my family or somebody. But yeah, or a friend if I'm there with a friend. But I'm not super clingy. If they have to like go away, if they want to go talk to somebody else, if they need to go to the bathroom or something, I'm not the type to go with them. I'm just like, I'll just chill here by myself. So, but yeah, I'm definitely not I'm gonna go talk to some random stranger. I'll wait for them to come talk to me, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, sorry, I keep talking about myself. I'm so vain and self-centered. Okay, Marisol doesn't respond to your calls. You turn and find yourself face to face with a stranger holding an extravagant mask. This must be the guy Marisol was talking about. It's just so relatable, you know, though. Alright, oh gosh. I gotta do more voices. There you are, just as you described yourself. You don't go by the name Moon Girl now, do you? Oh! Who are you again? Shihab? Ding, 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 ding. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Mitsuki is both smart and sexy and smart. Aw, he looks nice. I like it. I like his costume, I guess. Yeah, mask. Nice. Flight freeze. Oh, this is great. This is so relatable. All right. Fight. Does that mean we're gonna like lash out at him? Flight. That means we run away or freeze. I guess we'll just freeze. Don't worry. I tend to have that effect on women. No, I'm not. Are you hiccuping? Is something wrong? I'm fine. I'm just introverted. I'm... You. A drunk man in a haphazard costume approaches the two of you, slurring his words. Oh gosh. Richard, what are you even doing here? I can't do drunk. I've never been drunk. I don't drink alcohol. But believe it or not... Not. Shihab. I go. Old Richard goes to parties. Yeah, I'm just curious about how you got invited to this party. Fuck off with that shit, man. You haven't, I have you talked to me since the college reunion. I can, Oh, shit, Mizuki, I totally forgot you were here. Why don't you grab yourself a drink while I deal with this? This? That's all you can say to me, Shihab? Put my hand to stop him. What's he doing? I don't know. Wait, yeah, I'm in girls or something you wanted to say. Is she broken or something? Oh no, not this. Familiar feelings enter your chest. You've been here many times before. People are talking to you and you blanked. You've lost track of the conversation because you're too busy minding your racing heart and the nausea in your stomach. It's just too much. Your overstimulated brain can't handle any more FaceTime. FML, I'm out. You rush home and opt to stay there, safe from social destruction. Suki, you're doing that thing again. The panicky thing you do when you're around a crowd. Pace yourself. Don't dive headfirst into difficult conversation. Let's try again. Okay. So... Oh. Okay. I guess my social battery got drained all the way. Okay. So we'll try something else. Oh, here we go. There we go. Alright, good. We got a boost from finding something familiar. Maybe that was just a tutorial, I guess, to kind of give us a hint. So maybe that was supposed to happen. I don't know. The ballroom lights as the lighting whips across the sky, followed shortly by a sharp peal of thunder. I feel like I should save after that, though. Alright. And the entire room begins murmuring. Marisol is nowhere to be found. I should find someplace quieter, at least until I can track down Marisol. Ooh. Balcony or drawing room? We'll go balcony. Fresh air is usually... Well, I guess it's not fresh. Is that glass? It looks like, yeah, there's glass. So, it's like a glass balcony, I guess. Glass room balcony. This should be a nice, quiet place to... Crap! You're not alone. A masked man leans on the balcony railing, watching the rain fall on the street below. Occasionally, a flash of lightning illuminates the hard, cold lines of his mask. He doesn't acknowledge your presence at all. There is supposed to be flashing lights, but I disabled it because They don't bother me, but since I'm recording, I don't know, they might bother somebody. So I figured it better. And it's just, it did say it's just a visual thing that doesn't change the gameplay, so we don't really need it. I'm good without the flashing lights. Hello? The man turns with a start, annoyance flashing across his face before he releases a beleaguered sigh. And here I thought I'd be the only one mad enough to see the paradoxical comfort of a thunderstorm. But I suppose even that simple respite must be denied me. Sorry, I can go. No, why bother? You've already shattered my calm. Oh, sorry. I'll be quiet, I promise. The soft drumbeat of rain falling on the shingles punctuates the discomfort. I'm Misuki. It's nice to meet a fellow storm appreciator. Harlow. Charmed, I'm sure. He sounds neither charmed nor sure. I love the smell of the storm. I do love the smell of rain in the storm. Yeah, we'll go with that. Storms smell so good. Petrichor? Huh? What you're smelling. It's called petrichor. Sure, we'll say that. I thought petrichor was the smell of the earth after it rains. Is that gonna drain our battery? Harlow does not appear to appreciate this edification. Well then, what is this? I don't know, ozone maybe? Harlow huffs and turns back towards the storm. You're clever, Misuki. Now, leave me be. You head back inside, feeling a strange mixture of intrigued and offended. Is this that negging that Marisol is always talking about? You start to see why it annoys her so much. Maybe the drawing room will be empty. The drawing room is dimly lit and windowless. A costumed man stands amidst a scattering of torn southern magnolia and forget-me-not blossoms. He holds the stems bereft of petals in his hand and looks up at you surprised. Yep, I figured it was going to be the other. So there's 3 love interests, so now we get to meet them all. So this is nice. I do like it when you get to meet all the characters. I mean, it's pretty common to do this in an Otome, but it's nicely spaced out though, and it's well done. So good job introducing all the characters. The flowers, I mean. What are you doing here, miss? Oh, sitting or wanting to sit alone. Hi, I'm Misuki. I'm Kai. Sorry to ruin your bid for solitude. No, that's not what I... Softly, thunder rolls in the distance. Kai tenses, gripping the stems in his hand tighter. You could always go back to your room. Yeah, I do tend to do that. At one of the office parties where I work, it's a tech startup with the free wine on the tap, you know? I got some... It poured so fast, sort of landed on the person next to me. The CEO, to be exact, talking to a potential investor. This is why I stay home now. Kai clears his throat. We tended to avoid each other in the halls, and I'm talking too much. It's well enough. We all make social faux pas. Your anxiety is understandable. Right, thank you. Kai places the flowerless stems back into their vase. As you sit on the couch, Kai sits opposite on an adjacent love seat. He smirks at you warily. You sit in silence across from Kai, dodging his attempts to make eye contact with you. But finally his eyes, warm and soft, but not without pain behind them, connect with yours. Before you entered, I was contemplating what could be more beautiful than a magnolia. Those blossoms open in the daytime and close at night. You're more of a primrose, a night-blooming flower. That's so kind of you to say. You feel heat rush to your cheeks. Indeed, their scent is particularly sweet. I know you came to get away, but perhaps we could, dare I say, vibe for a bit? Yeah, sure, why not? He seems nice. Yes, that sounds nice. Kai sits on the sofa, leans forward, and looks at you expectantly. What would you like to talk about, my primrose? I don't know. I mean, he's sweet and all, but calling me my primrose, that's a little premature for that. We just met, dude. A lot about flowers. You talk kind of fancy. Yeah, he does. Sure. Flowers must be your thing, huh? Kai sits up straight, his eyes brighten as he continues. I have what people call hyperfixations. I have since I was a kid. Plants are one of them. I used to be a botanist. Lately, I've been getting more into genetics. As far as I'm concerned, it's all biology. One plant fact, go. Let's see. Plants can let out an ultrasonic frequency when under stress or cut. What? You mean they can scream? Sort of. Like, on a frequency humans can't really hear. But nonetheless, I do now feel poorly for tugging at these magnolias and forget-me-nots. As you should. Do you have any hobbies? I play jazz on the saxophone. Magnifique. I'm partial to body and soul. Those are some fancy words you got there. Kai laughs, an easygoing, infectious outburst. Fair observation. I suppose I do. Putting care into conversation. It's not a bad thing. Oh, okay. Check. Your phones start beeping incessantly. Muffled alarms from the other rooms ring in tandem. You pull out your phone and peer at your screen. Oh, Hurricane Delilah Advisory. The National Hurricane Center, New Orleans, blah, blah, blah. Delilah producing a dangerous storm surging along the northern Gulf Coast, flooding from rainfall to follow. No. Sounds like everyone is getting this alert. I should check in with my sister. I gotta go. You return to the ballroom. The phone alarms gradually cease, but revelers continue murmuring. Some look out the windows at the raging storm. You recognize the costumes of Harlow and Kai. At the center of the ballroom stands Shihab, near one particularly stumbly guest. Among the crowd, one costume man has his arm around Marisol. You wade through the sea of costumes until you reach your sister. You saw the message, didn't you? We have to get out of here. The costume man who has his arm around Marisol addresses you. Hi, I take it you're Marisol's sister, Masuki. She's talked a lot about you. Nice to meet you, though I wish it were under better circumstances. I'm Ray. Hi. Yeah, me too. Mar, sorry to break this up, but can we please go? Okay, Suki, love you, sister squad, but I am not driving out in that storm. If I may say, Masuki, I think your desire is totally reasonable, but I'd have to agree with your sister. Driving in 90-mile-per-hour wind sounds like a recipe for disaster. Recipe? Ooh, that reminds me. I think those Masquerade hordivores? I have no idea how to say that. Appetizers could have used a pinch of nutmeg for depth of flavor. You think I should tell the I'm not fancy. Should tell the chef I digress. Maybe keep that to yourself for now, but it's an extra note, babe. Yes, it would be rude of me to offer constructive criticism at a time like this. You're so considerate, Mar. Maybe I should volunteer to help them in the kitchen. Seems we'll be here overnight. Overnight? This can't possibly be happening. Phone alarms go off once more. Misuki reluctantly gazes at the message on her phone. Hurricane Delilah Advisory, National Hurricane Center, New Orleans, 10:15 p.m. CDT, Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Delilah storm surge ongoing, shelter in place until further notice. Much to yours and the other guests' relief, the staff have a handle on disaster preparedness. You stand in a long line of partygoers to receive manor room keys, towels, a flashlight, a blanket, and a water bottle. Yay! Survival! After putting away your things in your newly assigned room, you regroup in the ballroom at 11:30. The storm, though still turbulent, is now like a familiar hum to the revelers as they return to chatting and laughing. Shihab, Kai, and Harlow seem to be in mid-conversation with Richard, the stumbling reveler from earlier. You overhear them from afar. I don't get it. You could have called. Could have texted. I thought we were pals. Is it because I didn't invite you to that yacht party? We passed each other in the halls at Lafayette University. Wouldn't exactly call that friendship. He's been bothering me all night. We don't have to listen to him. Since the storm rages on, apparently we do. Look, bros, we only had so much room on that boat, and I had to save it for the girls I invited. You know how it is. We don't care who you did or didn't invite to your yacht party. I don't even know you had a yacht party. Dude, I don't give a damn how you spend your daddy's money. Really? 'Cause then that could mean one day with my dad, I could sue you guys. I don't see the correlation between yacht party and suing. You can't just threaten to sue people as a way to coerce friendship, Richard. Richard cries and vomits. Ew. Shihab, Harlow, and Kai disperse. A manor employee escorts Richard to the nearest bathroom. Yeesh, that Richard sure is wasted. Looks like all those guys I talked to know him in real life. That's unfortunate. I better stop lurking. Maybe I should check in with Mar. Find Marcel. As you push past the crowd, you hear Marcel's laugh. You turn to see your sister be spun around by her newfound friend, Ray. No music plays any longer since the shelter-in-place order. Ray just sings to Marcel as they both glide across the dance floor. Look at them. Even with all the cray-cray going on, they seem so happy together. I don't want to break up their good time. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, look at me. I'm the older sister here. I should be able to take care of myself. Yeah, you get it together. Get it together. I can have a good time, too. A little storm won't stop me. What should I do? I'm guessing, assuming they stay in the same place, Shihab, I forgot his name. Other dude, and Kai. I don't know. We didn't really get to know Shihab that well. Even though we talked to him online a little bit, apparently. I guess we should go talk to him because it felt like we were coming here for him, so. But Kai seemed nice, too. No, they all seem really interesting. I'd be interested in seeing all the routes, really. Well, we'll see. We'll play through one and see how I like it. I'm enjoying it so far, though. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I like the characters. The story's really interesting plot. Even though it's kind of doing the there's only one bed syndrome, not that specifically, but the whole we're gonna force two characters to be together and start the romance off that way, which can, I mean, it is kind of a forceful tactic. It can make romance seem forced, but we'll give it a chance and we'll see where it goes. I won't judge just yet, but we'll see how it goes. It is an interesting concept, though. Interesting plot, interesting setting. Like the characters so far. All right, let's keep going. Some revelers have retreated to their rooms as midnight approaches. Shihab finishes talking to a couple before noticing you. Hey there you are, Moon Girl. And the Flash, or, you get it. You shoot finger guns at Shihab. Shihab grins. It was so cringe. Yeah, we are. That was pretty cringe. In my opinion, the shelter-in-place order means that there's nothing to do except keep the night going. And it feels like... I don't even know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Shihab has been missing you all night. You mean sexy Shihab? What? Whoa. Girl, you asking for sex right now. What? No, Shihab laughs. Just teasing. It's so great to see you in person. Likewise. Sorry about Dick. Wasn't expecting that dude to come here. How do you know him? Or he seems really wasted. Yeah, Yeah, he did. He had a drinking problem. Well, still has a drinking problem. Actually, sort of like a general substance. Instead of... Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, let's not waste time talking about that loser. Is it auto-playing? Why is it doing this? Oh, okay. I want to talk about you. You do? Absolutely. I want to know everything. Really? Of course. Let's start with an easy one. Coffee or tea? Tea. For sure. I don't like coffee. Tea's best, I think. Good taste. Thanks. How do you feel about daylight savings? The worst, kind of useful, or I like it when it ends. Honestly, I think it's kind of pointless because, you know, I mean, I guess it's useful for farmers, but most people aren't farmers, and I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I guess, yeah. I don't mind it. You monster. So sorry. Next question. Do you read reviews about a movie before deciding whether or not you see it? What was it? Do I read reviews? Oh, no, not really. I kind of prefer to make my own decisions. I like a surprise. Now you're talking. Guess I'm not so bad off the cuff after all. What else? Spoke too soon. Man, this guy keeps going. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? A clown. A jazz saxophonist who could also play piano with their feet. That sounds very oddly specific, but it's funny. I like it. Why be ambidextrous when you can be ambidextrous? Why indeed? And have you achieved your goal? Half of it. I at least play a mean sax. Jazz. Classical. I know at least 10 sonatas by heart, and I made up a freeform piece that's annoying enough to hurry my sister more out of the bathroom if she's hogging it. I love that. You're so charming, Mitsuki. You feel your cheeks blush. Shihab takes one step closer and shakes your shoulders a little bit. More questions. Oh gosh. This is very extrovert though. But it's cute. I kind of like it though. What song reminds you of our dynamic? To me, I kind of like extroverts and introverts together. I think they're cute. I like their dynamic. But maybe I'm biased because Ken and I are like that. Ken's my extrovert, so I can have him do all my talking for me, and it's great, and I love it. If we go in public, you know, I'm like, Ken, go ask that person we need to find this item. Like, go ask that person where it is. I can't do it. And he's like, okay, I'm on it. He's great. I love extroverts. They're great. They can be draining sometimes, but great. As long as they understand that sometimes you need space and time to recharge, then they're great to be around. Maybe. What's the one thing you can't live without? You broker. What's one of your biggest regrets? This entire conversation. See, I would be fine with this. I'm fine with answering extroverts' questions. Maybe a little. It is kind of coming off like a personality quiz or an interview or something. It's a little odd, but I should go. But we got to remember the main character is super introvert. So, if you could choose how to die, how would it be? I have to end this. See, I prefer deeper conversations to small talk, so I would find these kind of questions really interesting rather than, lovely weather we're having. What do you do for a job? How's your family? Blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff is like, it's always the same answers I have to say over and over again. To me, it's repetitive and boring, and I want something new and interesting and deep and to get the mind stirring and all that. Thought-provoking. I like thought-provoking conversations, not the tedious, repetitive, I'm fine, yes, nice weather, my family's doing okay, everybody's okay. Anyway, sorry, I keep getting distracted. It's getting late. I wish I knew. I need to sleep. Yeah, sure. I really wish I knew, but I'd rather think about how I'm living first. That's a good way to be thinking. Wow, look at the time. It's already tomorrow, but today, you get it. I sure do. Good night, Shihab. See you, space cowgirl. Shihab brushes your cheek with his jewelried hand, then gives your shoulder a soft squeeze as he smirks. As you guide yourself up the stairs, you steal one last look at his free-flowing silhouette. Wow, he's talkative, but boy, he's cute and a little bit silly, kind of like me. What should I do now? Oh gosh, we gotta talk to all of them? I was hoping I could go back to my room by now so I could recharge my social battery. Where's the go to my room option? Alright. I guess we'll go to the balcony. Harlow is found on the balcony once more overlooking the French Quarter, which is now covered an inch thick in rain. The wind whistles, lifting Harlow's locks and ruffling his costume. He doesn't seem to mind. Feels almost unsafe to be out here, yet here he is, even after that hurricane warning. You stand in silence together. Harlow's gaze stays transfixed on the storm. Like carved marble, no way he'll start this conversation. I should just bail. Maybe if I wait another minute? You listen to the rain pelt the wrought iron fencing on the manor's facade. Harlow sighs. We have a conversation. Lift off. Then he shifts his standing leg and remains silent. No dice. Feels bad, man. But if I can start conversations on Discord, surely I can talk in real life. It's just an icebreaker. I mean, how hard could it be? We've already talked once before. Even reached peak's wind speed yet. Guessing that wind speed is, 40 miles per hour? That emergency alert should have said tropical storm warning, not a hurricane. Harlow's brow furrows as he turns to you. Storm hasn't reached its climate. I forgot the voice. Storm hasn't reached its climax yet. Right. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. I actually took a class in meteorology back in college. It was an elective course. Fascinating. Either way, I'm surprised you still stand out here. There's a society where none intrudes. Sure. I understand. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed around people, I just have to be alone to recharge. Harlow offers you a curious look. That's very honest. My qualms with this party are historic. Society built masquerades like this one as a way to flaunt the aristocracy. Lavish parties, abundant feasts. At the end of the day, it's all surface level. I get that. There are more meaningful things than parties. Harlow's face lightens a little. I don't mind the company of people, so long as the company is worth it. Only so much time in a life. What really drew me to this party was the manor itself. But you look chilled to the bone, so let me not take any more of your time. It is chilly. Harlow brings his arm around you and guides you inside. On a brass cart sits a stack of white towels. You pass a towel to Harlow, then use one to dry yourself off. All dry. You nod. Harlow takes your towel. I'll take these to the laundry chute for us. Until then. Harlow holds out his hand. A handshake? You hold out your hand with a confused look. Harlow offers a firm shake, then immediately darts to the laundry chute. He sure seemed eager to leave. I'm not sure I understand him, but maybe if we had more time. What should I do now? Gosh, our social battery. So what happens if the social battery runs out? Are we just gonna call it quits or whatever, I guess? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. You enter the drawing room. As soon as you do, the power surges and the lights go out. Muffled screams are heard from the revelers in the ballroom, followed by laughter. Don't move. You might trip and fall. Kai breathes heavily. Due to the lack of windows, it's pitch black. find some candles. There's a candle on the coffee table. I could light it for us. I have some matches in my purse. Kai slows his breathing, then swallows. Excellent idea. You grab a match from your purse. You strike it. With just enough illumination, you glide over to the candle on the coffee table and light it. Kai offers you a calm smile. Thank you. That was quick thinking. Oh, how do we do that anyway? Oh, okay. I don't know what that does. Okay. Anyway, encourage him, I guess. The light from the candle creates a small oasis of light while the rest of the room remains shrouded in darkness, including the area where Kai stands. Okay, you, can walk over now. It's safe. It's still quite dark, but I'll tread carefully. You got this. Kai trips on the rug and falls toward the couch's backrest. Oh, spoke too soon. Sorry, let me help you. It's alright, I can manage. Thank you, though. Kai sits next to you on the couch by candlelight. Sit together. Kai looks properly soothed. Who knows how long I'd be standing out there all alone, frozen like a yellow-bellied landlubber if you hadn't stopped by. It happens to the best of us. Now we have this candle to keep us safe and, warm. I am warm enough just being around you, my primrose. Is that so? Candlelight suits us. You clear your throat. Your voice is low, but confident. It's almost like we were meant to get to this light, together. A captain always directs her crew to safety once she's found her lighthouse. You reach out and squeeze Kai's shoulder. I'm glad you're feeling better. Much better with you. Will you stay here with me until the lights turn back on? I most certainly will. Let's wait together. Oh my gosh, we got like a slither of battery left. You wait together for the next hour, conversing on your favorite topic until the lights return. Looks, like we're back in business. A shame. I treasure the opportunity to stay here longer. Alas, it is getting late, and I'm exhausted. I look forward to our next visit. I do as well. Kai brushes your hair behind your ear. I feel like I can see you a little bit better now. You blush and return to the hallway. You look back at Kai's serene face once more before leaving. He blushes back. Finally, head to bed. Hopefully that replenishes her. After a long night of socializing, you enter your room, slip out of your costume, and collapse into your bed. The plush feather pillows wrap around your head like a hug. It's not long before you fall fast asleep. As the night passes, faint rustling stirs just outside your room. It almost sounds like scratching. You groggily pull the cover over your head. A few moments more pass until you hear the softest hint of a male scream, followed by deafening silence. Uh-oh. The warmth from your cushioned duvet and the hypnotic drone from the thunderstorm outside draw you back into slumber. You sleep soundly for the rest of the evening. Day 2. Okay. Well, it replenished it a little bit. Light filters through the gauzy drapes, gently waking you. Nonetheless, you feel on edge. Searching the room, nothing looks odd or out of place, but you can't shake this apprehensive feeling. Those scratching sounds last night, they seemed so real. A shiver runs through your body as you recall what else you heard last night. And I think I heard someone screaming, but that must have been a dream. From the second floor landing, you see the revelers and manor staff huddling in the middle of the ballroom. Gasps and murmurs spread like wildfire throughout the space. You hurry down to join the crowd. Uh-oh. Your heart races as you inch your way through the chaos. Before you lies the body of a familiar crumpled man. As Richard, the party boy who threw up in the ballroom just the night before, he has a huge gash on his torso and gaping wound on his left shoulder. Oh gosh. Shihab turns Richard over and checks his pulse. He's dead. Shihab stands dumbfounded until Ray pulls him back into the group. Ray addresses all the revelers. Alright, everyone, stay calm. We need a volunteer to call emergency services. Yeah, we'll let somebody else do it. One of the manor staff calls 911. We need to conserve this battery thing. I don't know if each night is going to be different, but for the first night, I will say I wish it had let us choose to end early if we wanted to. Like, so usually in these, people have an idea of what character they want to go after in a playthrough. So, it would have been nice if we could have just focused on the character that we wanted to get the romance for, or wanted to get to know better, and skip the others. Save them for another playthrough, you know. But that's just my opinion, honestly. And I mean, you can still have the option to do all three if the player wants, but if they want to skip it and go for our just one particular character specifically, I could have saved a whole lot of social battery doing that. So, just a thought if you're going to have a mechanic like this. Like once again, I'm not sure exactly what happens if we run out of social battery, if it's like game over, or if it's just, well, you just move on to the next day. I'm hoping it's just you move on to the next day, because then it's a bit more forgiving than, oh, nope, you get a game over. And it's like, well, I had no control over it, so it is what it is. Anyway, that's just sharing my thoughts anyway on the matter. But we'll keep going, we'll keep playing and see what happens if we run out of social battery. I'm sure it's going to happen eventually, because we don't have a whole lot, it doesn't look like anyway. Let me save here. In the meantime, you take a few deep breaths to calm your nerves. Looks like we can't get a hold of anyone. Oh my god, Ray, what do we do with the body? You seem quite eager to move it. Pal, I don't appreciate your tone. Don't address Mari like that. It would make more sense to leave the body undisturbed so we can accurately gather evidence. Okay, Sherlock, what makes you so qualified to investigate? Harlow, the history detective. Police aren't coming. And who's to say Richard will be the only victim? We should know whose fault this is. The revelers gasp in shock. Why would you say that? Seems a bit sus if you ask me. This might have not been anyone's fault. Could have been an accident. He could have fallen. Kai speaks under his breath. And had his shoulder practically ripped off? Seems improbable. What was that? Kai makes a valid point. A fall also fails to explain the claw marks on his abdomen. We're like only a few minutes away from a swamp. Bears live there. You're saying he willfully wandered into a swamp last night and happened to be attacked? This is Richard we're talking about. Also a valid point. He would do that. Just so it's on record, the last person seen arguing with Richard was Shihab. What are you trying to say? Just noting an objective fact. We were all arguing with Richard last night. Shihab, you're also trying to make up stories for Richard's death. #guilty. But is Shihab really capable of... Do people actually talk like that? Do they just randomly go hashtag... anyway, I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, but Shihab is really capable of murder. Don't get me wrong, I get wanting to argue with him. When I was live streaming the Masquerade for my followers, Richard came stumbling into the stream and nearly cost me an entire sponsorship. He was unhinged. Sounds like a possible motive. Would you quit it? Yeah, stop arguing, guys. This isn't gonna help. Folks, the group raises their voices, escalating the altercation. Shihab and Kai start shoving one another. Harlow takes Marisol's phone to check her live stream footage. Yeah, I'm just gonna, they can do whatever. You disengage and walk away from the group in frustration. I don't think they're willing to be reasoned with. Just wait. And just now. Masuki, wait! Kai wishes for your hand and guides you to the side. What's the matter, Primrose? All this fighting, it's overwhelming. Maybe there's something we could do, but only if we take a step back and think. You're absolutely right. Kai shouts at the rest of the group. Masuki has an idea. We should all listen in, but in order to do that, we have to stop fighting. Finally, someone who's sane. Let's hear it, Masuki. Enough of the touchy-feely. We're wasting valuable daylight. There could be a killer on the loose. You do realize that, right? Ignore his negativity. What's the plan, Primrose? I think we should split up and investigate this ourselves. We're gonna be stuck inside this mansion for a while, right? The sooner we find out what's going on, the better. Where should we start? Richard was spending most of his time in the ballroom, and his body was found here. Doesn't it make sense to start here? But from the video I just watched, I saw Richard wander into the drawing room after messing up Marisol's live stream. After Richard threw up, and the manor staff took him into the ballroom, bathroom from the ballroom floor, I saw him head up to the balcony. No one else was on the balcony at the time. Could be worth a check. I can't believe we're doing this. It's going to be a long day. I'll bake us some snacks to stay energized. The manor staff looks on at Ray, dumbfounded at this entire situation. The head pastry chef slowly nods. Suki, where are you going to go check first? And I guess I'll just start here, since we're here. Hey everyone, staff is saying they will have to move Richard's body to spare room to keep it safe from harm for the time being. We aren't really qualified to do some kind of post-mortem anyway. That makes sense, but Mitsuki, I really don't want you investigating by yourself. I'm going to help Ray in the kitchen, but who will you investigate with? Might as well be with the Harlow the history detective. In your dreams, wouldn't you much rather investigate with a debonair adventurer? A regular Indiana Jones or Nathan Drake? Oh, Hank the cow dog. Feel like I identify most with Hank. Or someone who's just happy to help and assist you as needed. You deserve that support. Talk about a thirst trap. Hashtag thirst trap. I mean, if you trust these boys, I'd rather you be with one of them than off alone. Who's it gonna be? Yeah, Shihab. Just because he was the first one on the list. And I'm honestly fine with any of them, so I don't know. Let's click on this. I don't know what it does, but we're gonna click on it anyway. The crowd dissipates until you and Shihab, along with a few stray revelers, are the only ones left in the ballroom. It mentions stats, but see, I don't see any. Is there anything that lets me check my stats? I don't know. I have no idea what it does. It says love, but I guess that's like affection for the guys or something like that. I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. The floor has been cleaned and cleared of Richard's body, including the blood on the ground. Shihab nudges you. Thanks for picking me as your, pause for dramatic effect, partner in crime. or perhaps partner in absolution. You shouldn't have scapegoated like that. Yours is a noble mission and one of the many reasons I admire you. You blush at the confidence Shihab instills in you. So, Space Cowgirl, how shall we wrangle evidence today? Maybe we sweep each side of the ballroom one at a time? Sweet. What side first? Which side first? Left, I guess. On the left side of the ballroom, the 18th century crest of French noble families adorn the walls. Toward the front of the room is a set of tall windows with ornate curtains. Outside the window, Hurricane Delilah rages onward. When you look up, you get a good view of the grand middle staircase and second floor landing that leads to all manor bedrooms and the balcony. There isn't much to look at beyond the well-polished oak wood floor and the windows that overlook the French Quarter. There is also a door on the left-hand wall that leads to the kitchen. Check the floor, I guess. You focus on the ground, walking up and down the length of the ballroom until you find a small bit of fabric. You pick it up and examine it. It's a black cloth with a smatter of blood. The fabric matches several costumes you've encountered throughout last night, even the accents on Ray's costume, the lining on Marisol's costume, detailing on Kai's costume, Harlow's mask, and Shihab's costume, which is all black. You pocket it. What you got there? I'll show you in a bit. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? I guess we'll keep looking around. You walk over to the windows. If it weren't so rainy, you might be able to get a clear view of the Mississippi River. It may not be a swamp like Shihab guessed, but the Mississippi is within walking distance. Plenty of wildlife could have crawled up from there. Beyond the view, you notice a rip in the curtain. It looks like more claw marks. Those curtains look damaged. Man, people can be so disrespectful at parties. Somebody messed with those curtains. Should I keep looking around? Yeah, let's keep looking. Pop into the kitchen. You open the door to the kitchen and hear the sound of a dough mixer whirling and pots and pans being shuffled about as Ray offers baking advice. Now, if you want the bread to rise properly, you have to keep the dough at the optimum temperature. Too hot and the yeast cells die. For the cookies, well, please leave the dough tasting to me, as I have elevated palate for sweets. You really do offer great feedback when it comes to balancing texture. Sure, it's sweet, but nothing else of interest here. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? Discuss Richard, I guess. Tell me more about Richard. We were pals at first. I didn't know much about him, so I assumed... Oh. But he consistently proved himself to be... Oh. I don't like it when it skips automatically, because when I'm reading it aloud, I don't get a chance to read it all. So I'm just gonna wait until it stops doing that. Thanks, Shihab. Appreciate your sharing. At least he doesn't have to suffer any longer. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? Discuss suspects. As the both of you walk around the ballroom, you begin a discussion. Shihab, I've been thinking about everyone we know at the party. I was curious to get your perspective. Sure thing. What's on your mind? How do you feel about your chances of absolution? Do you think people will believe you're not guilty? I get how the circumstantial evidence surrounding me makes people believe I'm the most likely suspect. But I know I didn't do it, and I hope you see that too. I do, I think. Harlow was keen on taking the lead in the investigation. Do you find that suspicious? Someone who controls the investigation could mislead us on clues. He did grab your sister's phone as soon as she said she had a recording with Richard on it. He could just be eager, or perhaps he wants to influence our perceptions. Not sure about Kai. He, called you out for the argument you had with Richard. Bingo, and he's not the only one. Thing is, we were all arguing with him. It just so happens he found me at the party first. I listened to him drunkenly ramble for over an hour when I could have been talking to you. Worst decision of last night. Maybe he's trying to deflect? I can't believe my sister suggested that you're guilty. Yeah, I was surprised by that too. And why wouldn't she immediately share that piece of evidence on her phone? Why did Harlow have to take it from her? I mean, maybe she's trying to hide something, but there's no way she would commit murder. Ray, I don't know much about him. This party was the first time I have met him in person. He seems alright. I am excited to eat his pastries. I don't know what this is about me. To be honest, me too. She sure is quick to defend Marisol, which could affect his judgment if Marisol is hiding something. Ray doesn't seem to have a connection to Richard, though. At least as far as we know. Should I keep looking around, or check the right side? On the right side of the ballroom, a few suits of armor and a grandfather clock stand at the walls. Toward the front of the room is a set of tall windows with ornate curtains. Outside the window, Hurricane Delilah rages onward. When you look up, you get a good view of the grand middle staircase and second floor landing that leads to the manor bedrooms and the balcony. Toward the back is the stage where a live DJ was spinning a set just yesterday evening. Check the clock. Upon approaching the grandfather clock, you notice the face of it is cracked. Looks like signs of a struggle happened here. Did someone hit this clock somehow? Maybe it was always broken. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? I feel like that wasn't broken before. If it just broke, it broke at 3:25 a.m. Strange time of night to be out and about. Look at the window. From one of the windows, there is a view of the courtyard. It looks undisturbed. Nothing over here. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? Examine the stage. You approach the stage where turntables, a mixer, and a speaker system sit. You pull out your phone to watch a video. This is where Marisol recorded her live stream. In the live stream, revelers crowd around as Marisol speaks with an energy drink in her hand, showcasing the New Orleans skyline on the logo. Salutations, streamers! It's Mardi Gras at Delacorte Manor. What a great time to be trying Midnight Mayhem, the new energy drink from Ruby Toro, so you can hashtag party till you're purple, I guess. Till you're purple. Anyway, Marisol sticks out her tongue, revealing her purple tongue. Richard knocks the can from her hand. It tastes like shit. It's all sugar. This one's actually sweetened with honey. It's not like the other flavors. Marisol tries to reassure the streamers with a half-hearted smile. Revelers gasp as Richard grabs Marisol's phone. What are you doing? I'm live right now. This streamer is a fraud. Her products are not what you think. She's not who you think she is. She's a liar. What are you talking about? Get off my stream. You're ruining everything. Marisol wrestles the phone back, but Richard stays in Marisol's face, leering over her until Ray steps into frame and pushes Richard back. Hey, friend, you need to back up. Are you okay? You look like you need some water. You want this hors d'oeuvre? I still don't know how to say that. Don't put that in my face, man. I don't know where you got that. Richard throws the food on the ground and bares his teeth at Richard. Whoa, I just grabbed it from one of the waiters. Relax, I thought you might be hungry. Screw you guys. Party sucks anyway. Richard swerves out of frame and stumbles toward the drawing room. What the fuck? Richard seems so angry. Why would he call my sister out like that? Definitely weird. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? Discuss other possibilities. Considering all the evidence, what if the culprit was not human? My thoughts exactly. Yeah, what if it's an animal? It could be an animal. That could certainly explain the claw marks. Bears, bobcats, hawks. Oh my. What if it's a monster? Aw, man, you're going to laugh. Try me. It could be a monster. Are you kidding me? I love that shit. Ghosts, dragons, babadooks. That one octopus dude. What do you think it is? I'm not sure what yet. I just wonder if there is an animal about. You would think there would be more traces of it. But if it's some kind of shapeshifter, it could be more elusive. After exploring both sides of the ballroom, you and Shihab pause in the center. I see that barrel furring. You're thinking about what we found. Yeah, I definitely think those claw marks on the curtain, not to mention how busted up the grandfather clock was. Who let the dogs out? You go first. We can't rule out any suspects. Yeah, sure. I'm not really sure any of my stuff is worth mentioning. Why don't you go first? Mizuki, whoa, what happened to all that confidence? You seemed so ready to take the lead before. Your heart sinks a bit and you try again. We just found some more claw marks and a busted clock. It's not directly linked to Richard, but it indicates signs of a struggle. Don't underestimate yourself. Anything else of note? You hand Shihab a small piece of black cloth. What am I supposed to do with this? You shrug. I had the same thought. Is this even a clue? It's just a random piece of fabric. It does have blood on it. That's fair, I suppose. Don't bury the lead next time. My sister's video is concerning. Richard called my sister a liar in the live stream. Not sure what that is about, but I'm curious. Do you really believe Richard over your sister? I wouldn't. Isn't it important to be unbiased? I mean, sure. But this is Richard. I'm a college grad who willfully participated in the detergent pod challenge we're talking about. Fair. So we've got claw marks, a bloody piece of cloth, a broken clock, and an aggro video. Any theories so far? Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have enough evidence to... There isn't enough evidence to make a solid theory. We should keep looking. Where do you want to explore next? I guess the balcony. You mentioned seeing Richard head up the balcony. Let's check there. I'd love to wrangle more evidence with you if you're down. I'm obviously the best Watson. After the evidence I found, should I still be investigating with Shihab? Then again, maybe it's best to stay the course. Sure, why not? We'll stick with him. We're a team. I'm not leaving you behind, Cowhand. Yeehaw! You step out onto the balcony. The storm has steadied to a softer, more methodical pace, and the wind speed has lessened. If it weren't for the murder investigation, it may even be perceived as comforting. Thanks for listening to me about the balcony. I appreciate that. And what an incredible view. It is now, anyway. Before, I felt like I was going to be swept away. Maybe you still will be. Shihab smirks. You hold eye contact and tell you feel too self-conscious. You're really something, Mizuki. You playing detective like this. It's kind of hot. Panic? Yeah? We should explore the balcony. I suppose we should. Where should we explore first? We'll check the view. Outside you see the French Quarter is now several inches flooded. Creeping vines are spread over the wall beneath the balcony. There is a torn portion of the vine halfway down hanging limply. That vine down there is severed. Huh. You take a closer look at the railing and notice something dusty. Ew, taste it. I guess we can smell it. You waft the scent of the dust towards you. Dang, that is dank. Shihab sniffs it too. Is that what I think it is? Sure, it is. It's marijuana. We are at a party, but also, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but also could be a clue. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? We'll check the grounds. As you look down at your feet, you notice a litter of broken flower pots on the floor of the balcony. Whoa, this is a lot of damage. For so many to have shattered like this, it seems intentional. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab to check the walls? You look around and find nothing but windows on the walls of the balcony. There is nothing of interest. We'll discuss Richard. Tell me more about Richard. We were pals at first. I didn't know much about him. Oh, here we go again. Okay, I'm not going to read it aloud so I can actually read it. Thanks, Shihab. Appreciate your sharing. At least he doesn't have to suffer any longer. Should I keep looking around or talk to Shihab? Finish looking. After exploring the balcony, you and Shihab lean over the railing together. I see that brow furrowing. You found some clues. That broken vine I found beneath the balcony. Somebody's playing Tarzan? I know I do. Let's be real, we all do. So you think a person might have climbed up the vines? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, anybody could be responsible for the wheat dust. It's a party, anybody could have rolled a joint out here. Doesn't it take a certain someone to do it in the pouring rain? I suppose you may have a point. I think it's still worth noting. Broken pots are concerning. Somebody came out here to smash pots. They must have been angry. I mean, geez, it even looks like someone could have thrown them. Shards are everywhere. That's definitely plausible. But do we really think a person did this? Isn't it important to be unbiased? As Shihab looks at you with impatience, Harlow approaches. Your conversation with Shihab is interrupted as Harlow steps out of the balcony. He inhales sharply at the sight of you. Mizuki, I thought I might find you here. Everything okay? Kai and I were investigating Delacourt's garden. Kai kept going on about some inane theory he had, but it's ignoring reality. I thought I might join you instead. Don't surprise me that Kai would act that way, but I think we've got the balcony covered. Might as well join. Shihab and I looked at everything out here, but I guess you can join in. Shihab nods to Harlow. Like Mizuki said, not sure there's more to see here. We've gathered that an animal could have climbed up the balcony and attacked, causing damage to the pots. But there's a weird aspect to all of this that makes me think this is all a result of... Richard was known for pranks and mischief. This had to be a prank of his backfiring. We can't know that for sure. Yes, it's so obvious. Clearly you've missed everything of importance. Obvious. Mizuki, don't you think Harlow is being a little smug? Please tell me you do. He's picking up on something we're missing, I guess. It sounds like Harlow is picking up on something we're missing. Precisely. There's something strange going on, no doubt about it. And it was the result of human intervention. Richard was going through something emotionally, and whoever else was behind this was too. Shihab chuckles. What about the claws? The damage around the manor? It's a distraction from the core clue throughout each room. Richard's anger. This is the link to his cause of death. Richard would get angry at anything, though. Like when his order was messed up at a fast food line after a night of getting wasted. It's nothing new. Can you take anything seriously? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Anger affects his motive, I guess. It's because Richard's anger affects his motive. Harlow is looking at the larger picture, Shihab. Harlow grins. Thanks for seeing that, yes. While I can't categorically explain why the claw marks are on his body, I can follow a trail of rising anger. Richard was going through something, and none of us noticed. Are you kidding? He was around me most of the night. I noticed he was acting weird. Who didn't? You should let him finish, Shihab. Harlow eases as Shihab crosses his arms in judgment. Thanks again. What I meant to say is, anger begets motive. Someone wanted to stop Richard to quell his anger. You're awfully confident this was self-defense. It's at least something to consider. This may cause chaos, perhaps. But who would go up against Richard? Richard's unique personality meant he made a lot of enemies. Didn't he ruin your sister's live stream, Mizuki? Oh, come on. We can't be just throwing people under the bus. I'm trying to remain unbiased. I am looking at the evidence for what it is, unlike you. Most of what we found is too out of the ordinary for a normal person to be responsible. The culprit isn't one of the partygoers. Or you're biased and too lazy to look at things a little deeper. Excuse me? You okay? You okay there, buddy? You look a little red in the face. I just can't with this guy. Thanks for checking in, Suki. Shihab smiles at you reassuringly, then turns back to Harlow. I'm just wondering, Harlow, if you knew so much about investigating, why aren't you considering the hard evidence? You don't know everything. I know enough not to be nearsighted. Ugh. Oh my god, is Shihab jealous? It's okay, Shihab. Mizuki, I thought we were a team. Do you not trust me? I mean, yeah, I trust you. You put a hand on Shahab's shoulder and lower your voice. I trust you, Shihab. Of course I do. Shihab pulls you to the side. Harlow turns awkwardly away, studying the balcony railing in great detail. I don't do well with competition. I don't thrive off of it. When I'm with somebody, I'm with them. I don't like sharing. You don't have to share, but trust that I'm with you. Yeah. You don't have to worry about sharing, but you do have to trust me. It's not so simple for me. I care about you, Shihab. I appreciate that, Mizuki. Ray enters with a tray of some ornate green and purple king cake-style cupcakes. There you are, my friends. Been looking for you. Please, refuel with a cupcake, and why don't we all meet in the ballroom to take a break? Alright. Alright, let's save. As the day winds to close and the storm rages on, everyone gathers in the ballroom. What did we all find? Well, we found a few things. Ray and I found something too. But you go first, Suki. Yeah, on the balcony we found this vine that something might have crawled up, some broken pots, and signs that someone was smoking pot. Strange. Also, we found this torn black cloth, claw marks on the curtains, and that cracked grandfather clock right here in the ballroom. Plus Mari's video. Marisol and I went in the drawing room, and it was weird. Yeah. I don't know if a deer died on the couch or something, but it was musky in there. And the tufts of brown hair between the cushions. And freaking fingernails on the coffee table? Ew. Yeah, I know. Put it all together. So, what's that tell us? Not much. We've just gotta put our heads together. I don't know. Maybe there's something. What do you think, Suki? I have no idea, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I could see it being any of the three, really. I guess I'll save here. Let's just go with supernatural. No, it's a little strange, but like, what if it's something supernatural? A ghost? Goblin? It's possible. No, someone is dead, and unpleasant though he was, we need to take this seriously. It's not conclusive. The point is, none of the evidence is conclusive. It doesn't seem like it. Still, we've got a handful of leads. Hey, can we bring it back to the only real hard evidence we have? The video of the deceased moments before his death. Like, yeah, it doesn't prove anything, but it is kind of suspicious still. But then, yeah, everybody did have a problem with Richard. I mean, yeah. That's wildly inconclusive. We should be focusing on the hard evidence, not speculation. Exactly. That's hardly proof. Fair enough. Thanks for keeping us honest, old magic. It's okay. Let's not get worked up. You can tell that Marisol is holding back tears. Excuse me. She rushes off to the far wall near the torn curtains. Ray looks at you. Let's go talk to our sis. Mari, I'm so sorry. That wasn't... It's fine. Thank you. Thank you both. I'm just a little flustered. Never been accused of murder before. And you never will again. Not if I can help it. Anyway, it's getting late. Mari, why don't you stay in my room tonight? Or mine. If you wanted to. Thanks, but I think I need to actually get some rest. Ray sighs but nods. Fair enough. He heads upstairs. Marisol grins at you mischievously. And I think you might prefer to take someone else to your room. She points across the ballroom where Shihab, Harlow, and Kai are all staring longingly at you. I mean, most of these guys I've only known for a couple days. I don't know. They hurriedly look away when they see you glancing at them. Har, har, very funny. You start to say, but Marisol has disappeared. You look back at the boys who wave sheepishly at you. Oh gosh, I have to invite one of them to my bed? Okay. I wasn't aware that it was that kind of the end. Alright. I guess we'll do Shihab since that's pretty much who we've been going with. You and Shihab enter your quarters. Might have to cut this part out. We'll see. We'll see how bad it gets. Soft moonlight filters through the gauzy drapes. Shihab lingers by the door with downcast eyes. Is everything okay? Yes, I wanted to make sure you got back safely. But feels like there's a but coming. But I can't stay. Oh, I see. I'd prefer to sleep in my own room. Oh, sure. That was awkward. You plop on the bed alone, feeling rejected, but too exhausted to think about it. Before you fall into a deep slumber after a long day, sometime later as the night progresses, you hear a scratching and a distant howl. Was that real? It's hard to tell. Ultimately, exhaustion wins over and you fall fast asleep once more. Day 3. You jolt awake. You don't remember your dream, but it's left you sweaty and short of breath. The room is bathed in that oppressive dark and permeates the world before the first gray wisps of dawn crest the horizon, but the roar of the storm outside means it could be any time. You reach for the other side of the bed, but feel only a slightly depressed mattress. Shihab, are you there? You don't hear an answer, but from the direction of the ballroom, you hear crashing glass and shouting. It sounds like Ray. Where is she, you B-word? Fear grips your heart as you rush from your bed towards the ballroom. Ray is near the center of the ballroom, shrinking back at something bathed in shadow. Where is she? A low snarl curls up from the shadows. Where is Marisol? Hearing Ray shout petrifies you to the core. What happened to Marisol? It should never have left her alone. A terrifying howl pierces the night, and the shape in the shadows steps into the light. Oh my. I had a feeling it was a werewolf, but I didn't want to say anything. The beast that stands before you is monstrous. Fur bristles as it rises, the moonlight glinting off its sharp teeth. It stands twice as tall as any of you, and its wolf head turns to look at Ray, emitting a low growl. Still, there's something about its eyes, something familiar. Harlow? The monster sniffs, turning towards you. The wolf man with Harlow's eyes turns to you, mouth dripping with saliva. It takes a step towards you, crouching, ready to charge. Its lips curl into a snarl. Just stay calm, Harlow. I know you're in there. The werewolf growls. Cute, dry joke. I have it on good authority that there are 2 wolves inside you, and you just gotta choose, the werewolf roars. So yeah, okay, yeah, no, I got it. Gotta switch gears. The wolf circles you, snarling softly. This is just another way you push people away. You're afraid of being hurt, but Pushing people away like this is what's hurting you. The wolf lets out a low howl. You're not a monster. Embrace your vulnerability. Let me in. Yeah, no. The wolf approaches you, the fur between its shoulders raised and bristly. The stench of its breath makes your eyes water, but you stand firm. You're not a monster. Not really. It's just another mask you wear. It may be a part of you, but you're stronger than it. Tentatively, you extend your hand. The entire room gasps. You stroke from the back of the wolf's skull to its snout. The wolf itself shivers, and you witness a great change come over it as it shifts before your eyes until Harlow stands before you. Masuki, what? No one's ever done that before. Aww. Yeah. You pull Harlow into a hug, holding him tightly to you. You can feel him shaking, and he makes strained noises as he clutches you. Harlow pulls away from you, clearly fighting back tears. You nod encouragingly. You have to understand, Masuki. I didn't want any of this. It was Richard. He's like this, too. He scratched me at college, and you must have transferred this curse to me. Harlow looks down, shame clouding his face. I've been trying to control it ever since. Richard, on the other hand, he was out for blood that first night. I didn't mean to kill. I had to stop him, Masuki. I understand, Harlow. Richard would have killed others if you hadn't stopped him. You're a good friend. You were looking out for us all, like a good friend does. Friend. Yeah, is that all right? It's a surprise, old magic, but perfectly satisfactory. I'd still love to show you my favorite libraries and museums, if you're interested. One last thing. Before we get you cleaned up, do you know what happened to Marisol? Harlow's face looks downcast. I'm sorry, old magic. I don't. We need to find Marisol right now. Ray jumps up, pointing in the air. Yes, we cannot give hope while Marisol might still be out there. I was saving these for Mari, but they may give us the energy we need. Ray lifts a basket of golden bayonets dusted with sparkling sugar. The aroma alone stirs the spirit to action. Souks, where should we start? Everyone looks at you. Souks is me, right. I guess the drawing room. Come on. You lead the way to the drawing room, the portrait of Lou de la Cour staring down at the search party. The room is quite small and there's no sign of Marisol. Coming up empty, Primrose. Where else can we look? I guess the balcony. This way. Everyone follows you to the balcony. Watch it be the ballroom, which is where we were at the entire time. It's still stormy, but beginning to clear. Everyone stands on the railing. Hurricane Delilah has made a mess of the city streets below. Amidst the chaos, everyone searches for a sign of Marisol. Surely her bright costume would stand out against all this gray, but there's no sign of her. She's not here, old magic. Let's look somewhere else. Here in the ballroom, even though we're not in the ballroom anymore. Let's look around the ballroom. Make sure we don't miss anything. The party fans out, searching the ballroom. Several people find sequins and cloth wraps that could have been part of Marisol's costume, but nothing remotely conclusive, nor anything that indicates Marisol has come to any harm. Looks like our princess is in another ballroom. Where to, Space Cowgirl? I get the feeling, I got that reference. I get the feeling there's a lot of references in this that I've missed, because some things just don't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it does get the feeling that this likes to make references to obscure and random things. I guess that wasn't obscure, but random things. You break into a dash, almost sprinting through the mansion as everyone else struggles to keep up. Ray almost drops the bayonet basket in his effort to follow you. Finally, you burst into the bedroom where you've been sleeping these past few nights. Marisol, your outburst doesn't rouse your younger sister. She's sleeping quite soundly, drooling a little on your pillow and snoring softly. Her clothes are drenched and dirty. Howling wind rushes in through the bedroom window, making her shiver. She must have escaped the werewolf by running outside into the storm. But then why'd she come back here? Ray places the basket of bayonets on the table and moves to the window, shutting it. The sudden drop in volume imbues his words with a poignant power. She went somewhere she knew she'd be safe. A lump catches in your throat when Ray looks at you with a mixture of gratitude and admiration. The entire room feels lighter, and the storm even seems to have lessened. Ray places a comforter over Marisol, and she stops shivering, sighing contentedly in her sleep. I'd like to stay with her, if that's all right. Yes, of course. It's a good thing we saved some bayonets for her. Besides, you turn to Shihab, Harlow, and Kai. They all have a look of relief on their faces, but Harlow has a downcast look on his face. He avoids your gaze. Harlow, we need to talk. Clouds still cover the sky, the sun desperately attempting to push through the gloom as Harlow leads you back to the balcony where you two met. We haven't done the thing yet today. I don't know what it does, but the dirty, earthly aroma of petrichor drifts towards your nostrils from every direction. He looks over at you, frowning. Hey, I've got a bone to pick with you. I'm sure you do. So you're a werewolf. You're a bloodthirsty, murderous creature of the night, and also a werewolf. I liked you better when you were quiet. Can't handle a little snark when it's thrown your way? Not that, so much as you bore me. Yawn. You think you're so cool, but you're predictable. Slavering over Marisol like all the rest. She's not interested, bro. Marisol? What? You mean because of last night? That's not what that was. I don't have any control when I'm in that lupine state. It's pure feral, bestial. I was actually trying to avoid people, but your sister was up late wandering the halls. My beast form saw food and chased her. That's all. What, do you want a medal for not mauling and eating my sister? I want to be left alone. There's the beautiful primrose that I love to see. Your eyes light up at the sounds of Kai's voice. You turn to see him walking toward you with even brighter green eyes. It looks like he's equally happy to see you. Kai, how are people doing now that everything's over? They're managing. People are saying that the shelter in place will be over any time now. I have mixed feelings on that. I'm glad people will get to go home soon, but I wanted to ensure I could speak with you before you left. I'm glad. I wouldn't have left you without coming to talk first. I'm relieved to hear that. Thank you, Masuki. I'm sorry if at times I've been distracted. Kai, I want you to know something. This is so weird. I wasn't really even trying. I mean, I wasn't really trying hard for any of them, but I don't even know. I don't even know, man. Sure. I love how kind-hearted you are. You put a lot of effort into how you speak to others, and it doesn't go unnoticed. When people like Richard doesn't put that effort in, I've seen how it frustrates you. You've spent time with me trying to investigate what happened to Richard. You've been... No, wasn't with us, so... You've been there when it really counts. I guess I could just look at you and see a soft, beautiful core. Masuki, it's you with the kind heart. Your capacity for giving people the benefit of the doubt and being there for those in need, that's what being kind-hearted is. You don't turn away from kindness, even in difficult moments. Maybe it's something we both admire about each other. I could settle for that. I definitely admire you more, though. Now hold on a second. You can't start playing that game. I'm the one who admires you more. Nope, I said it first. Well, then I said it with more gusto. You both share a laugh. Kai looks at you lovingly. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. Being anywhere in this mansion with you is nice. I don't want it to end, or rather, I want it to continue outside of this place. I want to continue it too. I'm really into you, but... You look down at Kai's hands, which have been fidgeting, even shaking at moments throughout your conversation. But... Kai, what's actually hurting you? Even right now, I can tell something is still wrong, besides all the werewolf stuff. I want to be there for you. Kai rests his elbows on the railing and puts his head in his hands. He lets out an exhausted, shaky sigh. As he tries to choke out a few words, you step to his side and put your arms around his shoulders. It's okay. Take as long as you want to find the words, but talk to me. Kai's chin quivers. He looks out at the distant storm before speaking. These last few days haven't been the first time I've had to shelter in place. They're not? No. Years back, I was part of a botany team that was tasked with field research directly in the swamps of New Orleans. It was supposed to be a multiple-month-long undertaking. My team and I stayed at a research station set up at the heart of the wetlands. Some of the best memories I've made were from that first month. We learned so much about the ecology of that area. We've received messages that Hurricane Henry was passing through south of our location. We were told we weren't in its path, but the weather began to get worse. Our progress began to slow. Our work was halted entirely when we received reports that Hurricane Henry had unexpectedly shifted paths, and we were now directly in its course. Evacuation was complicated. Quick transportation wasn't an option without abandoning a lot of expensive equipment that stored a lot of valuable research. We had to shelter in place. You cared about your passions a lot. That sounds like the Kai I know. We took what precautions we could and did our best to secure all 3 floors of the station. We stayed on the bottom floor. We knew Hurricane Henry had hit when the rainfall and gust of wind were loud enough that we had to shout in order to hear each other. Cypress trees that had reached over 600 years of age were bending at the base from the power of the storm, and it was happening throughout the entire area. Rocks and debris clashed against the building. The station itself made sickening creaking and bending sounds. The sound of creaking metal got louder and louder until a deafening screeching noise made our ears ring. A section of the metal roof had been torn off completely. The electricity to the station completely went out. Then came the floods. Kai's eyes widen and you rub his back softly. He blinks a few times before continuing. The first floor of the station eventually filled, water swirling like carbidus, and more rain poured down from the gaping hole in the roof. Leaks turned to streams, and you could all hear this water rushing in from all sides. It just went on and on. We abandoned the samples and expensive equipment as the water continued to rise. Eventually, the whole second floor was submerged. The constant sounds of rumbling and incessant rain wouldn't stop. It only got louder. The Maelstrom blew us only grew larger and more violent. For hours, the only thought in my head was, when is it going to end? That question, that feeling, took hold of my core. It didn't end, not until we were up to our shoulders in water, with all of our work and equipment drowned in the floors below. When the rain finally did stop, it was definitely quiet. So quiet I couldn't hear my own thoughts, if I even had any. So in the far distance, Hurricane Delilah travels further and further away, but it seems like the darkened clouds still cover every inch of the sky, not a single glimpse of blue in sight. It's the most scared I've ever been. You pull Kai into a comforting hug, letting his head rest on your shoulder. Some of his weight releases onto you. This whole time you've been dealing with being caught out in another hurricane, and it's been a horrible reminder of all that. Yeah, unpleasant reminders of a really difficult time. I still felt my core get gripped in the same way, even when it's a normal rainstorm. The last few days here have been the worst my reaction has ever been. I'm sorry, Kai. This whole time I wasn't sure why you'd sometimes be somewhere else. Now I understand. I don't judge you for all your episodes. You don't always feel them coming on, right? You feel Kai's head nod on your shoulder. That kind of experience, it changes you. It certainly can't just be brushed off. It becomes a part of you, but it doesn't have to control you. Do you think of me as... I don't view you as anything other than someone who's gone through multiple, tremendously difficult experiences. And despite it all, you've still grown into someone with a heart that I truly admire and love. I'm happy you were willing to tell me, because I'm willing to be a shelter away from those thoughts whenever you need. Having someone is always better than feeling trapped and isolated. You grab Kai's hand reassuringly, begin to guiding him away from the railing. Let's get you off this balcony. Before you can finish your sentence, Kai pulls you back. Thank you. I'm so delighted to have someone who knows me. Not only someone who knows me, but values those parts of me. We're a team, you and I. We can weather life's storms together. Kai embraces you. You both look out of the fleeing storm together, knowing that you have each other. Oh, okay. I guess we got the Kai ending. A golden ray of light pierces through parting gray clouds, shining into the mansion. The radiant light is simply beautiful. Once in the ballroom, you turn, coming face to face with Shihab. Both of you narrow your eyes at each other. Shihab. Mitsuki. Let's get this over with. The shelter in place is lifted. Don't you have somewhere to be? Yeah, I'd say see you around on Discord, but then I'd be lying. Good riddance. I don't even get it. What happened between those two? Shihab walks out of the manor with this ride share without another word. Okay. You turn coming face to face with Harlow. Both of you narrow your eyes at each other. Harlow. Mitsuki. Let's get this over with. The shelter in place is lifted. Don't you have some place to be? I do. Good day. Good riddance, more like it. What happened between those two, too? I thought they were cool. After you say your goodbyes to Shihab, Harlow, and Kai, I'm so confused, man. You find yourself alone in the ballroom. Daylight peeks through the windows. You follow a ray of light as it shines upon Marisol's face to see her beaming at you. Relief washes over you. Marisol looks well-rested and recovered. Soon Ray is by her side, kissing her on the cheek. Aw. Marisol beckons to you to come over. Ray hands you a leftover panette as soon as you're within reach. As you bite into the warm, inviting dough, you admire the general splendor of the manor. You never had a chance to take it all in. You were so fixated, so in your head, but the ornate costumes, the grandeur of the ballroom. It's all so beautiful, isn't it? A brunette woman with a maroon gold laced ball gown passes you. You both make eye contact and share a warm smile. Great costume, love the color. Suki, are you listening? OMG, did you just compliment a person? Like you just talked to them first without being prompted. I guess so, it's not so bad talking to people. I don't even feel that nervous anymore. I feel like I've seen it all. The good, the bad, ugly, and all kinds of conversation. I mean, I guess when you've been confronted by a frickin' werewolf, I guess that puts things into perspective. Suddenly talking to people doesn't seem so scary, I guess. You shrug, a slight, proud little sneaking smile sneaking onto your face. Okay now, hashtag Mardi Gras 2024 is full of surprises. Werewolves, boys, a socializing Mitsuki. Look at you. You laugh. If you could see how wide your smile is right now, you did all this. You talked down a werewolf. You kept us all safe. I'm so proud of you. Mar, stop. I'm just glad you're safe. Oh no, you're not escaping this. Hugs are imminent. Marisol wraps you up in a warm, inevitable embrace. From within your sister's loving clutches, you look over at Ray, who's wiping tears from his eyes. Ray, are you okay? It's just so beautiful. The sibling connection, I feel it. Oh, babe, I love how much of an empath you are. Come here. Marisol lay Ray's head on her shoulder. You finish your bayonet as you watch for the group's rideshare to arrive. Wait for rideshare. The rideshare pulls up, followed by an ambulance. You listen as Richard's body is loaded into the emergency vehicle, and the statements are taken. No one mentions anything about an attack, just a freak accident influenced by a drug overdose. Marisol and Ray gather their belongings and look up at you. Rideshare's here. Ready, Suki? You sigh, then softly smile, having made up your mind. Actually, I think I'll stay behind and talk to a few more people before I go. Marisol nods knowingly, and Ray waves goodbye. You watch them leave until a group of revelers catches your eye. You tap one individual on the shoulder and hold out your hand. Hi, I'm Mitsuki. Nice to finally meet you. Yay. That was pretty good. Not bad, not bad. I do have some things to say, constructive-wise, but overall, pretty good. I liked it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Cool. gonna let the credits roll while I just think about it for a moment. Just in case, sometimes there's bonus something at the end. You never know. And this will give me time to just gather my thoughts. Look at the pretty backgrounds. Such a good job. Aw, you're welcome. I enjoyed it. Okay. So, let's see. On the positive side, I like the characters. All the characters I think were likable. I didn't have anyone that I was like, oh no, not this person. I liked all the characters. I thought they were great. I liked the mystery aspects was really cool. I wasn't expecting a mystery out of this. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. The supernatural elements, the mystery aspects, I think it was pretty nicely done, pretty nicely set up. It wasn't too obvious, I don't think, but it wasn't too hard for me to put 2 and 2 together, you know. When you put all the clues together, it kind of made sense that it turned out to be something supernatural. Once they started hinting that supernatural was a possibility, at least, that's when, because see, you know, I wasn't sure if this world, if supernatural was going to be a thing or not. So that was a nice, pleasant little surprise. The art was really nice. I liked the backgrounds, and the character sprites were nicely done. Weren't a whole lot of CGs. It felt more story focused, but that's perfectly fine. That doesn't bother me. And there was a good amount of like backgrounds and stuff to make up for it. And they describe things pretty well, which I'm fine with too. I'm fine with describing things if you don't have the art, the visuals. As long as you're describing it, it'll make up for it, is how I felt. The visual effects of the storm were pretty nice too. GUI is pretty nice. It gets the job done anyway. Oh, achievements. Yeah, achievements, that's cool. So there's lots of things. So definitely has some replayability. I don't know if I'm not a completionist type of person, so I don't know if I'm gonna try to get everything, but this is definitely, if I do, I'll do it. I'm probably not gonna record it. I'll just do it on my own. In terms of constructive criticism, my main things are about pretty much the gameplay mechanics. I think would be my most major constructive criticism, because the social battery thing, it was interesting, but it didn't really feel important in the end, because I didn't really have a whole lot of control in it. It seemed, to me, it felt kind of random, honestly. I had no idea what was going to make it go down and what was going to make it go up, and in the end, it didn't really seem to matter, because even when it got down to like just a slither of it, it didn't go down completely. So I don't know if there is a way that you could make it go down completely. I honestly have no idea. I still don't really, even though I played through it from beginning to end, I still have no idea what made it go down and what made it go back up. It's, like I said. I mean, yeah. So it's an interesting concept, but I don't really see the point in it, honestly. In my opinion, anyway. I think for me, the gameplay felt more focused around the mystery. And honestly, I was okay with that. I'm okay with just the mystery aspect being whodunit, and the whole supernatural thing was interesting. So I think that would have been better to focus on in terms of gameplay wise. And then the other thing, once again, more with gameplay, the romance, once again, it felt kind of random. It felt like I was trying to go for Shihab, right? But I ended up having moments with Harlow and Kai instead. When I'm playing a romance like that and there's multiple love interests, I prefer being able to have more control, have more choice over who I want to romance. That's just my personal opinion, honestly. So how I would have gone about fixing this is, if you're going to have it be decided on the player's choices, at least have some kind of stats or something that they can see, so that they can see, oh, well, I seem to be hitting it off more with Kai than the other guys. So I guess I'll go with Kai instead of the other guys. Because honestly, I would have been okay with that, because I liked all the characters, really. I just had no idea that apparently I was hitting it off better with Kai than the other two. There was no indicator of it. There was no, like, you know, like sometimes people have colored hearts to indicate, you know, like purple, you're friends, and then blue, you're starting to get closer, and then green, you're close friends, and then, you know, and it goes that way. Or some people will do like numbers system, so, or you can have like a little sliding kind of bar system, just something to indicate that you're getting closer to with this person. So if you want to do the romance, go for this person and not the other two. Just to give the player a little more insight and a little more control and seeing where they're going with the story. Because to me, it felt kind of random because I had no idea where it was going. And it was very unexpected because I didn't know. Honestly, I had no idea. So it just caught me a little off guard and kind of... I didn't really feel a connection with the romance, I guess we can put it that way. Mostly because it was unexpected and not really sought after, for me anyway. So I think the mystery was better handled than the romance for me anyway. But I mean, I still enjoyed it though. There were definitely a lot of choices, I will give it that. So I do appreciate that it gave me so many choices, and I liked the getting to look for evidence and search all the clues. That was fun and all that. I enjoyed that. So I do like the different choices. It was just the consequences of the choices is what threw me off, because I had no idea why my social battery was going down or up. I had no idea which character I was gaining affection or whatever, love, I guess. Like the mask thing. I kept clicking on it, but I had no idea what it does because I couldn't see the stats or whatever. The love, it said love plus, but love plus for what? Which love plus for which character? I have no idea, honestly. So I was a little confused in terms of the gameplay mechanics, I guess you could say, even after playing it from beginning to end. You know, sometimes when you're playing a game, you might be a little confused at the start, but usually about midway or so, you at least should have a good handle of the mechanics and understand it. This one just felt completely random to me, so I have no idea what the mechanics are, honestly. So if I were to play this again, I would be at a loss. I'd just be picking things at random because it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I have to say, though. Overall, though, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's great, you know. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to mention, I forgot. Also the relatability. I really like the relatability. It was great, you know. As an introvert especially, I could relate a lot to the main character. I think the change happened a little quickly. I don't think somebody's going to change so drastically in 3 days. But then again, you know, I've never confronted a werewolf, so, you know, maybe that does put things into perspective in any way. But at least at the beginning, I felt a good connection with the character being an introvert. So I thought that was great. Nicely handled, the introvert and extrovertedness. But yeah. All right. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.